Hello guys, welcome.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
I
3,
decided to start an
2,
hour early
1,
today.
0.
Get some games in before the Elite Crazyhouse arena starts. And the arena will have a time control of 30 seconds plus 2. So these quick games will be a good way to get a bit of warm-up going. And I hope everything is going well with the stream. I tried to fix the issues that prevented me from streaming last Tuesday, but it seems the images are getting through now, so that's nice. Let's see how to proceed here. Let's put some stuff around our king, because he probably wants to go pawn at g5, and I should disallow this bishop to come here. Okay, that's just a free pawn, I guess. Pawn at d3 comes to mind now. Okay, not yet, since he places the knight here. Can also go d4 maybe. Alright, he goes d4 himself. Let's take en passant. Block this bishop's diagonal is more important to block than the other one, since I'm fine on the light squares here. Right, now let's trade queens. And he's already low on time as well. And in this tournament there is no increment yet. The increment will of course help, but there will be still a lot of pressure on the clock in those games. So I think this is good practice. Let's mix it up a bit with this opening. It's of course, it's probably not the best way to play, but it you get interesting positions. And white also has to be careful. He can go knight takes e5 now though. Yes, and then I was thinking take here and take on h3, try to get very aggressive. If he takes, I'll try to go bishop at d6, probably. Okay, he decides to go for knight at e7, but my king seems to be safe here, at least for the moment. And now he's allowed this queen at h2. Alright. That could have gone bad for me, since the position wasn't as good as I hoped to be. But alright, some experimenting in the opening. Should always try that, of course. Not a lot of people in this tournament, so we'll have to wait a bit to get a game, or people should join. But I expect to get a few games in, and in the Elite Crazyhouse arena there'll probably be a lot more players. And that arena will start in 55 minutes. So we'll play this one and another warm-up arena, so to say, and then we'll see some elite Crazyhouse, at least I hope, to bring you elite games. And we'll see then if we can compete with Jan Lee and Operason and the usual guys. LBRA is up now. Let's focus on that. Let's go knight g5, maybe some take here. h3. Now maybe e5. Try to get on c6, and also e6 is maybe annoying for him. Let's just ignore that. Knight at d4 is an option for him though. I just wanted him to burn out his material resources. Queen e2. Let's go back. I don't think knight takes f7 was correct there. Let's castle knight f4, try to get in on this knight, or this bishop I mean. Pawn at h5 maybe, pawn at g6. And I'm getting in on the light squares, or winning material. And already mate is coming. He had to block or go to e7, but it was already awkward for him. Probably he could have done better there. He came fine out of the opening, I think. Right, Ximar. Opening with c4 and g3. So I'm sort of playing against my own system here. Although I usually opt for d4 instead of c4. Let's go h6 and bishop e6, maybe queen h3. Try to get something going there. Now I'll try to trade and maybe get in via g3 or f2. And this is looking troublesome for him already. He might sack the queen though, and then defend on f3 with the bishop. Could be okay, don't know. This should be strong. Rook at e1. And he can take my queen, of course, but then I'll go rook at e1, trade, queen at f2, and it's very close to mate. Let's see how to proceed. Queen b5 maybe. This knight at f3 is a very good defender. So, and I don't have any material. Pawn at h3, for example, would have been a nice move, following with rook at h1. He's taking very long. Oh, he's disconnected, I think. That's unfortunate. Yeah, my plan with queen b5 was also queen b6 and rook at g1, something like that. But there probably was a defense possible there, but sadly he disconnected or something like that. Gave up on the game. Also possible. Don't know. Don't know if you're already up to date, but in the 1-0 Crazyhouse World Championship, we have the final matches were played, so the candidates are out now, and I expect little plotkin to get a message out on the forum, well, sooner rather than later, I think, with the start of the candidates phase. So if you want to stay updated, follow the forum thread, Crazyhouse World Championship. You can search, I don't know which one it is. Yeah, community, probably in the English version. You can search there for 10CWC and you'll find it. And probably I'll try to stream some, and most likely other known streamers will try to get some games in as well. So we'll try to cover as much as possible. At least it's my intention to stream some games there. And the format for that will be 30 games. And the total points count. It doesn't matter if you win or lose the match. Well, it does, of course, but it matters with how many games you won for the standings. Queen at h3 is now mate threat. Blocking his escape to f1, and then queen takes h2. Alright. Not the best move order by me, but he didn't punish me by playing bishop b4 earlier. Now, I was going to say I'll try to castle, but he has other things planned. Let's take with the bishop and then with the knight, and bishop at g6 or f5 I'll just retreat. And now I'll try to get in on g7, maybe rook f1 to get safe first. Seems sensible. And some pawn at f6 is also possible here. Or take on g7, then pawn at f6, bishop at g5. And if he covers, I'll have mate soon, and probably now also. Let's take the knight and go knight at h5. Yeah, king of 7 prolonged this game for a few more moves, but would have also been mate. Alright, doing fine so far. Winning all the games. And my play seems decent today, so maybe, or I hope I can maintain that level in the Elite Crazyhouse arena. Of course, those opponents will be a bit tougher than these I'm playing now. Maybe e4 and try to open up the position. He might go queen c8. Alright, he closes. So then that signals for me to go e4, since now there's no bishop on h3. And now could try to go knight at f4, get on g7 maybe, or take on d7 and repeat with knight at e5. Okay, he's covering g6 like this, but still I'd like this move. Let's repeat once, since now he can't repeat back, so to say. Okay. I might want to go knight takes d5 and bishop takes h6, or knight h5, bishop takes h6, because if the bishop is removed from this diagonal, knight at f6 would have been crushing. Bishop here so that he can't move back. If he takes, now he has this square available. Let's put a pawn here first. And you already run out of time, but there would have been knight at f8 afterwards, probably. h4, queen d2. Seems very strong for white. Right, Capram going for a b4 opening. Which I seem to get a lot lately. At least today I had a few games with some b4 structure. Bishop g4 and take on e2, I guess. Or make him use a pawn. Now he can take here. That's not very good by me. Probably he'll try to get in on f7. And he can take now, or next move, and go pawn at f5. So not the best opening play here by me. Okay, let's just sacrifice this bishop to get safe on f7. Right, he still goes for it. Now we can block on d5 though. And knight f4 seems fine. Pawn at e6 I can just take. Knight at h3 may come. What's the point of this move? I guess he wants to go rook at h5. Or f5 I mean, sorry. Knight here. Okay, let's go back. The thing is that he can take my queen, but I also can take his queen, and these entry squares seem covered. And he also doesn't have a bishop to place here, which is important. But now I have queen at g1 as a mating threat. Right, he sacks. Let's just take all and run. Yeah, he lacked a bishop there to threaten mate. So my threats were were something he had to deal with. Maybe he had some moves there, but already the time was running very low. And with the +2 increment in the upcoming tournament, you can play some time scrambles, of course, but then still it's only 2 seconds to calculate, which is even for experienced players not much. So you still are relying on your intuition there. Alright, Aldrich Duras again. Already I'm looking at g3 if he castles. Something bishop takes h3 and pawn at g3 is already very annoying. You can block here, okay, then I'll take and pawn at d4 maybe. Or take again. No, let's go pawn at d4. If he moves the bishop, then I'll take the knight, and the threat will be renewed. Okay, he takes the knight first. I'll just let this bishop be here for a while, and first focus on this f2. And now maybe I can take back. Also pawn at d7 is annoying, so let's go bishop at f4 first. And I wanted to sacrifice a bishop. to make him take with the knight, and then I'll take the pawn. And if he doesn't, it seems like I'll probably have a strong attack. Let's see. Rook at f2 probably. Bishop g3. Don't know. He's also low on time, so also banking on that. He can of course take this. Gotta watch my own time as well. But alright, interesting game. He probably made the right moves there, but it took too much time. And I'm okay flagging people, especially in bullet. That's a big part of the game then. Alright, let's probably getting EMRTY next, if he's still in the tournament. Okay, not the case. Don't know this player, but let's see what he's got. Could take here maybe. On f3, I mean. Okay, let's force him now. He could have taken on d4, would have been very strong. And now he allowed a mate. I was going for the queen trade, so he had to take with the knight. But okay. Crappy game, I'd say. But he fell for the cheapo there. Okay, now I'll take. And I think I'm one move before him. Alright, that's possible, I guess. Gotta watch out for stuff here. Let's go here and take on g6, pawn on g7. Very sharp this, since there's some stuff like knight at f3 or h3. Okay, he just takes all, gives me the easy mate, but I don't think it is that easy in this line. Since there is some pawn at h3 and knight at f3 business. But the queen trade was in my favor, or at least I was the one checking first. And that's always good to notice when you're playing some queen trade with an open king side. Okay, b4 probably again. Let's try. Yes, it worked. Catching him in a pre-move there. Let's just develop and take on f7 if he wants to sacrifice d4. Okay, let's go knight at e4 and take with the queen on f6. He wants a knight for g5, so I'm just covering this g5 square. And now trying to get in on f2 or d2. And this g5 square is covered for the knight, and d8 is also no threat, so it should be fine. Bishop e6, can't take the knight because of pawn d2 and rook at c1. He can play that move, of course. Let's just develop. Now he's covered here, but I'll win material. Rook at a2, trying to pick up the bishop and then go bishop c3. Seems very strong. Knight d4, just getting all the pieces there. And these two should be enough to mate. Let's see, where is it? I think rook a8 will be enough. Yes, should be enough. He can't block, or he can block of course, but it won't help. And actually it helped me, that rook at d7 move. It defended d2 but bishop e7, and then it was possible to get the rook on a8 for the mate. But also there was time to take the queen probably, or take the rook and mate a bit slower. Right, let's see. Let's go knight e5. See if he wants to trade a bunch of pieces. Knight here, getting on this bishop. Probably bishop at e7. Alright, he goes bishop at d6. Now that signals for me to sacrifice a pawn there and then win it back on c6 with attack on the queen. Bishop at e7. Let's win the rook here. And okay, we have a lot of material now, but he also has many pieces, luring this bishop away from d7. So rook at d8 would have been met by pawn at d7. If rook here, then he'll go king h7. So I think I have the queen. And whoa, okay, what do I do here? Guess take. Bit of a brain fart there, didn't know what to do. I did run my clock down significantly, so he can just check that a lot of times now. But he decides to play this move, which helps me a lot, because now I can just take on here and mate. If he just dropped pieces randomly to check me, he sorry about that, he would have won on time. But playing like a gentleman, you could say, but he didn't. Alright, let's go to the hyper bullet one, and well, it takes a while to start. I can just show you this tournament, which will be the main event on this stream. 30 seconds plus 2 seconds for each game. Jan Lee has already joined the finisher, and we'll probably see some more strong players join. And hopefully we'll have a great tournament. But first I'll play some hyper bullet without the increment. And then the Elite Crazyhouse Arena will be laid back compared to this one. But what do you think, guys? Will Jan Lee take it again, or do you have some other favorite in mind for today's time control? I think he won like 90% of the tournaments the last 3 weeks. I think Opera Wazen took one, but it has
10,
been generally
9, 8, 7,
for
6,
quite a few weeks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Alright, VW, V2 chess. Oh yeah, of course. Very fast player. 12 wins for Jan Lee and 10 for Opera Wazen. Okay. Yeah, it's what is it now? The 48th one, I guess. It's very nice. That's going for that's it started a few months back, maybe even a year ago. I think I even won one, but that would be in the probably not all the good players were playing then, or I just had a very good tournament. I'm just hanging the queen here. Let's go for the quick checks. That was probably the dirtiest flag of today. The last 10 seconds I wasn't even paying attention to the position, just putting pieces on the board. Yeah, V2 chess. I think that Grur is justified there. Alright, let's see who's up next. Vampire Slayer's joining. Very quick player as well. Let's see if she also joins the elite portion after. Okay, let's take again. Let's be greedy. E5. Try to develop. Maybe take and pawn at E3. And if queen trade, then I'll take with the knight. Not allowing this knight takes F7 with check. Okay, let's put down a queen here. Okay, nice that he takes with the rook first, because then rook at d8 takes d8 won't be a concern anymore. Okay, he just pre-moved there to be very quick, but I played a quiet move, so he probably expected knight f2 or knight e3, which I guess are also good moves. Okay, this line, I'm not very familiar with this line. I tend to lose a lot of games in this line, so probably I should look at it. This is fine though, this knight and pawn here. My king is kind of cramped, but he doesn't have any entry squares, so he needs a rook on e8. But as long as I don't give that rook, I should be fine here. Let's develop, also giving this rook space here. Okay, just take pawn at d7. He's lacking a pawn. Let's defend g8. Take on d5. Go for e7. Okay. There we go. Ooh, that sounds like a challenge from Winston. Berserking hyper bullet. It would be crazy though. But let's take him up on his challenge. See if we can. He's fast though. Alright, got him on the flag. Well. But I won't be doing that anymore. 15-second games are not my strong suit. It's very counterintuitive to not think at all, and well, probably most people say that in 30 seconds you also have little time to think. That's true, but at least there's some, in my experience, there's some thinking, and the 15 seconds is just a lot of pre-moves. Who is the quickest? Oh. Let's go pawn h3 and bishop here. And take this one. Right. Very interesting. Queen. This was setting up a mate as well as attacking the queen and king. Alright, so let's just play 30 seconds against him. Because he's moving very fast. Okay, that's a free pawn. Let's trade queen since he doesn't have any entry yet. Knight at f4 is what I'm planning. Gotta move quicker here. Let's block some escape squares. I'm messing this up. But he allowed mate. Okay. Bad game. Very fast Winston Smith. But I managed to luck my way out of there. Queen takes d6 is just was just a move. And he probably, maybe it was forced mate after all, but I don't know. No time to look back, let's just move on. Alright. Trying to catch me in a pre-move there. Let's pile up here. Okay, take like this, and then take on f7. Knight g5. This is already mate in a few moves. Yeah, he lost a free piece there on c5. And I guess in this 30 seconds game that you could try some pre-move tricks. A pawn next to the queen, for example, or just anticipating a bishop move or a knight move. knight e4. Arrest this knight a bit. And I think I'm fine here. At least seems so. Forks the bishop and the king, which was important since he was threatening mates on e8. Gotta move quick here. Just a random check there. I blundered mate. He didn't see it. That's knight takes c6, queen of d8 would have been mate. So he got me there in the end. But yeah, he also got 2 seconds left. But it seemed setting up this trick. But he went for knight at b7, which freed my position. Okay, very fast this. I'm up a lot of material, so should try to stay up on the clock now, and then I should be able to win this. Knight here. Take on g3. If a piece lands there. Knight f5, sack the queen, I guess. Rook at f2. Okay, probably not enough yet, but at least very dangerous. And making my opponent think, which is also nice. Right, there's the mate. You probably should have tried knight takes d6. Or she, I mean. I think Vampire Slayer is a woman. Now I'll take here and go pawn at h3, since I've castled and he also castled. So knight f3 now wins the queen, forking. So he had to move the queen there. Or f4 maybe. Don't know what the move there is there. But takes h3 can't be it. v2 chess again. h3 maybe, then I'll just move. Okay. You should always watch out for these tactics. Okay, he decides to give up the queen. Let's go bishop g5, threatening mate here. And now I'll try to get in on this rook. Queen g8, pick up this rook. Or a piece. And now we can go here again. Okay, gotta move fast now. Just putting a piece there, anticipating some king a6 move. So he got out of the pre-move there, and that enabled me to make another pre-move, but he already ran out of time. And if you, in these time troubles, in time scrambles I should say, most of the people just run with the king, especially if they're losing or on the worst side, and then you should try to anticipate where he's running to, and not keep checking him, so that he can run keep pre-moving out of the checks. So then sometimes it's better to not check, but in fact put a move that prevents him from pre-moving. Let's go rook d1, cheapo knight d7. he falls for it. Alright, it's going well so far. Vampire Slayer again. Let's go bishop g4 and repeat here. Knight at g3, f3 wins the queen or the rook. Let's take the queen. Let's check and try to go for knight at e4. Seems very promising. Now e2 is hanging, also the rook is hanging. Rook at f1, it's annoying. Also bishop f3 back. And this is mate. Right, happy to take that one. And it's been a while since I've been this high rated, so I will be a nice snack maybe for the top players in the elite arena. Right, John up next. Also very fast, so have to watch out for him. Let's go pawn d2, annoy him. Let's take here and start to harass the queen. I may have allowed knight at f6 now, but alright. Gotta move quickly. And he's got me. Okay. And back with both feet on the ground. After winning like 15 games in a row or something like that. Winston again with the quick moves, allowing pawn at f7. Let's try to trade a knight for f7. Okay, that's very generous. Queen at g7 probably coming, or bishop at h6. Queen at f8 is mate already. Okay. And of course speed is important in these fast games, but you also have to make some good moves. And then in the time scramble, once you get in time scramble, you can beat anyone with the pre-moves. But in the opening, you shouldn't play trash openings, or you could, but not. It won't get you that far against stronger players. All right, John again. Let's see if we can get revenge. Opting for some system over there. Let's go knight b5, threatening here. Let's trade a bunch of pieces. Deny him the castle, at least for now. e4, maybe knight g5. Trying to get a knight for g5. And rook at f8 is very strong. Knight h4 should mate, I think. King to h6 and knight f7. Okay, happy to beat John. Okay, v2 chess. Okay, not the best opening by me. Okay, let's give him the piece and accept that I'll be a piece down for a few moves. Okay, getting a pawn back, that's nice. Pawn at d2 is now annoying. Let's take the bishop and try to be quicker, because I'm moving slow. Run to c8, at least I hope so. Some random checks. And run with the king, but although he's very fast. I got him on the clock. 0.2 seconds left. That wasn't the best game of this tournament, to say the least. Let's try for this variation. Probably some knight at f5 coming soon, so let's try to cover that for now. Let's sacrifice this for the sake of opening the line of the bishop. He doesn't want it. Okay, let's go for pawn at e4 then. And now that his king is open, we'll probably won't take on f6 for now. And now I'll move away, since the bishop is nicely on g6, defending a lot of squares. I tried to pre-move him, but too slow. Okay, he got me there. Well done, John. V2 chess commenting on the dirty flag there. But then again, I got flagged myself as well in some of these games, so we'll all get our fair share of dirty flags, I guess. Bishop at h4, trying to pressure this square. Cover c3, okay. Guess he can do that. Let's try to stay solid, or at least up on the clock, which is not happening thus far. At least I'm threatening mate now. Oh, he has to block with the queen, that's nice. That's a nice touch there. I missed that he had to block with the queen. Winning the tournament. Or the game. Probably also winning the tournament, as I took a quick glance at the standings there. Okay. That's a free queen. I'll take that. Bishop h3, see how he wants to block. Let's take the knight and go knight to b5. Pawn at c7 maybe. Queen b7 threatening here. Let's not think too much, just get practical. Knight takes d6 is on. Can't take. Okay. He had to move there because otherwise mate followed. Thanks, John, for the compliment in the tournament chat. Let's castle take here. Okay, now go e5 and maybe some knight at h5 later on. Knight g5 first. But now his dark squares are getting weak. Forking the queen and the rook here. And now I'll try to get a knight. Let's go back, threaten here. Probably see some check, yes. Let's not allow any business here. He's fast. Random moves there. Probably I had made, but I didn't see it. Okay, 65 points. That's very good, I think, for 27 minutes of play. Let's move to the Elite Crazyhouse arena, which will start in 3 minutes. Let me change the title. Alright, let's see who we got so far. Jan Lee, of course, and the finisher, Y Scorpion, maybe less known, but he's been around for ages and a very strong player indeed. Rick Kostrov, who I believe is the current holder of the yearly Crazyhouse arena, so has good stamina and has improved greatly the last few months, because I think he used to be 2100 for a lot of time, but he has made a jump forward. CIW, who can be very strong, but also can string a bunch of losses together. It's very in the moment kind of player, in my opinion. And we'll see who joins. See Upper Ways and probably will join as well. Chicken Crossroad is online, he might play. Juanet is also online. We might see some more of the top guys, but for now 13 players have joined. Oleg Winner is a name you probably have seen more in the streams, playing a lot of Crazyhouse. It's always nice that strong chess players are also joining the Crazyhouse arenas, and the Bay Area and Crazy Home there on the second page. Also I've played a lot of games with Crazy Home in the past. Let's see if it comes up. Yeah, here we go. Over 80 games. So we'll see how we do. For now I'm third seed, but I'm expecting a lot of players to join, so would be very nice to end the tournament in the top 5. That's usually my goal when playing these arenas.
10.
Okay, Jan Lee
9,
will be
8,
back in a few.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
So
1,
let's see who's up
0.
first. Probably Rekastrov. Okay, CAW. And I'll have to get used to the +2 increment, I guess. Pre-moving isn't necessary here. But I'll allow him to take here. Since your opponent probably won't pre-move as well in the opening, and then trying to go for tricks or something like that won't be well, probably isn't the best thing to do. Let's see, take c3 and take on b1 maybe. Let's go for it. And if he takes back pawn d4, forking these two. Yes, he can go there. But if he takes, I'll take back and block with the bishop. And there is, well, there are threats at home for him. I can go knight takes d4, I guess. Yes. He's maybe banking on the fact that he can take since the knight is pinned, but then I can play knight e2. And the bishop had to move, or I can take the queen with this knight or with that knight. So in either way, I want the queen there. Alright, and this is the famous +2 times scramble, where you can get a lot of moves in, but you still have to be accurate, since your opponent might get back in the game at any stage. Let's take here, I think. Let me remove that, sorry about that. Okay, this should be made. Rook at h3. Okay. Happy to take that. Yeah, I was saying, when in this +2 time scrambles are probably more famous in the 3+2 games, where you have a very deep opening and calculating all these lines, and then both players get below 20 or 10 seconds, and then the time scramble starts. But with the +2, there's still an opportunity to turn the game around, or well, at least not get flagged so easy. And you still see a lot of flags, because you have this, at least I have this thing that I want to find the mate, or I want to find the best move in a position, and then I disregard the time situation. And you're just trying to find the move and keep on trying, but then you don't find it, and then you're 10 seconds down or something like that. And suddenly you have to find a few good defensive moves, and then you have lost on time or on the position. Let's see. I'm a bit exposed here, so probably have to do something about that. Let's go knight at e4, trying to get the knight on c3, or at least make him use a defender. Let's take with the pawn here and run to e7. Rook g8. He'll probably play there, yes. Now he can take the knight, but now the rook is no longer on h8, so knight at g6 is still possible, but won't be coming with that much effect. And also the rook is, if the knight moves, the rook is all on the open file, which is of course a thing you want. Okay, bunch of trades, Have to watch out for pawn at c6 and stuff like that, so let's put a bishop here. And now my king should be fine on b8, and also the bishop is helping to put pressure on f3. Since, well, if I can make a move now, I could probably play bishop f3. Okay, let's go like this. Probably rook at e8, cover the queen. And if I have a rook at h3 will be a mating threat, so he has to be careful for that. Maybe I've allowed too much here though. King a7 seems okay for now. And knight at h3 is something he has to deal with. Let's block with the knight, since otherwise he can just repeat. I shouldn't give him a rook. That would be devastating. Knight at d7, king c8, king takes. I think I have to go for this. Allow this queen move here and just run to safety. But he does have a lot of pawns though. Maybe he has too much here. Ah, there's mate coming. Okay, well done by him. I thought I could allow that that checking, but he had too much pawns there, mating me. Well done by what was his name again? Oh, Lyuma. Yeah, well done. Bishop at f3 was probably a bit too greedy there. Alright. Autocolobus manual, I guess you should say it like that. Going for a quick knight e4. Let's take here and go knight e5. And now h3 maybe. And now I'm thinking about knight takes f7, since he's played h5. So the g6 as well as the f7 square, which is also always a thing to watch out for. Also the g6 square is weak, so I'll try to work with that in the future. Let's first block this diagonal for some bishop takes h3 or g3 I mean, and h4 stuff. It's not a clear threat, but it's at least something to worry about. And I also gave him the option of sacrificing. Let's go knight at g5. Take the queen when it's useful. Bishop f4, I guess. Trying to get rid of this knight, or at least trade a knight. Let's go bishop at f4. Covering these two squares and trying to go for knight at h4. Okay, let's repeat again. Let's put more pressure on f6. Let's see if he goes for something like knight c6. Okay, let's take here first and then take on g5. And then I have bishop at f6 at my disposal. And now the queen and rook are forked, so I'll win a heavy piece, and then there probably is mate. Yeah, now queen at f7, pawn at g6, so, and bishop takes g5. It's already very hard for him to defend there. Okay, Vector Veld. Let's see if we can get the fire going. For those who don't know the arena system, when you win 3 games in a row, the third game will give you 4 points instead of 2, which is of course nice to get an advantage in these tournament games. Not the most accurate opening here by me though. You can try to trade queens. Knight h5 is annoying. Let's go bishop g4. So if we trade queens, I'll have queen at d1. Okay, and I also made him use a pawn here, which I think is useful. He's just putting his extra pieces on the board now, which I guess is okay, but I think he could have gone more aggressive there. a5 probably. Let's try to get in on c3 as well as removing this dark square bishop if he allows me. Since the light squares are very strong for him, but the dark squares seem a bit shady. And now bishop at d2 is a nice threat. Okay, how to cash in on this queen advantage. Let's go queen here. Yeah, I figured he would play that, but then I have queen a3. Alright, this holds, I guess. But at least I think it's very tough for him. I'll take the knight next. Threatening knight here. If queen at a8, possibly king d7. Yeah, let's try king d7. Just run. And hope it's not mate. Bishop b5 maybe. Okay, now I'll take the queen. And take b1, queen a1. Probably bishop b5 was very strong for white. Forcing me to move or block on c6, and then he could sacrifice on c6. So I think Vector should have taken that game. But the time trouble got to him. He just couldn't find the move. Alright, 22 players in so far. Let's see. Not all of them playing just yet. Atomic 42. Also a new name for me. Let's go safe with bishop e7. And this seems like a waste of move. Why not go bishop e7 in the first place? But then there are all sorts of other lines with a quick d4 or where the bishop takes f7 and stuff like that. And so therefore you can go bishop c5 first and then bishop e7 back. But it does give white a tempo to work with. Okay, he wants to take on h5. Let's just take on e2 and put a knight back on f4. Sorry, threatening g2. And try to get in on g2 here. And let's not allow him to take with check. If bishop at g5, then I'll trade queens, since I have a mate threat then with knight h3. He realizes that, so he sidesteps. Let's threaten the queen some more. Take. It's not enough yet. Okay, this is actually a good move, or a hard move to deal with, I should say. Let's take the queen now. But now I can simply take on f4, which should have made it easily. This is defending f7. He was threatening queen at g8. Knight takes f7 mate. And this seemed like a blunder from him. Okay, he's just giving the game away now. I think he had the upper hand there, but he missed that I can take on h5, getting a piece back and also defending. Okay, we've got the multiplier going, which is nice, and Luma is starting very strong with 5 wins already. Alright, Emily playing. Unusual start. Let's see how to react. Let's just repeat here. Let's go bishop c4 and e5 maybe. Knight d4 comes to mind as well. He wants to go bishop g4, I think. Guess I'll have to allow that. And if bishop g4, bishop b5. And that will be an awkward check for him to deal with. Okay, this is just asking for bishop b5. Let's go e5 and take on the c5 if he takes, and otherwise I'll have a nice pawn there, and pawn at e6 maybe. Let's sacrifice the knight there. Gotta keep up the tempo here though. Rook g1. Okay, not entirely happy about my position here. Bishop at f6, for example. Okay, let's just go for an attack here. I have the feeling that I'm worse in this position, so I'll try to stir up some complications. d1 probably. Take the knight, and knight at d7 was also a nice option. Let's do that now. And then take the knight. Now let's see, queen at c7. And this is where I have to try to find the mate, but not take too long. I hung this one. That's bishop takes c3, yeah. Queen at d2. I forgot that I put the knight on e5 to block bishop takes c3 there. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, the finisher. Let's go e4 against the finisher. And try to learn something from his theoretical play. Going for an aggressive start here. Bishop g4, I'll probably play f3. Since the bishop is not on c5, harassing this diagonal. Okay, let's go h3. We'll probably see knight takes f2 or bishop takes g5. Don't know about this, if this is good for me. It probably isn't. Queen h4. I'll have to go knight at h3. and allowing bishop takes g4, or even this. Okay, this seems to lead to mate very shortly. Do we have some miraculous defense here? Bishop at f2 maybe. I can take on h3, I guess. Knight at f3 is also mate. But, he'll probably find it. Let's see. Can we stir up some complications? He doesn't see it yet, I guess. So there's still hope for me. And I might even win this. Let's see. Yes, there we go. Okay. Yeah, there were a bunch of mates there for the finisher, but he didn't see them. So I got very lucky there. And just this opening play by the finisher is always very strong. At least compared to my openings. So probably should try something offbeat against him. But even then, he's way better. Okay, d4. Let's see how he decides to play this. Okay, knight c3. Not allowing e4. This h6 move seems like a slow move, but I don't want a knight or a bishop here. Pinning the knight here or threatening on c7. It's all very annoying. So therefore I decide to play a6. It's a bit slow, but in these d4 structures you see a lot of bishop b5, knight e5 sort of stuff. Let's go bishop c6. I could try to trade the queen and there was some sort of cheapo mate, but if he just takes with the rook and moves his king the right square, I would be lost. So let's not go for cheapos. Let's go knight at d5. Try to get to this bishop. He'll probably attack it and then wants to go knight at f6, but if I can get this bishop in return, I'll be fine. Or at least I think I'll be. Threatening e3. And now he can't go e4 anymore since the pin. So maybe king h1 is a wise move here. Let's take here and defend f6 at last. Let's go rook g8. I think I can take and go knight at h3. Knight at g3 should mate. Yeah, it's mate. Because I can take the rook with check and then pawn at g3. The king can't move back. Pawn at g3, and if he takes the knight or moves back, then rook at h2 is mate. So that's I had to calculate that because this knight was on f5 guarding the mate, so there was some threat of his own for white on e7, but it wasn't that hard in the end. And since the knight was on h3 covering g1, that gave me the chance to mate. Okay, Jan Lee taking the lead. No upper just yet, or any other masters like Chicken or Fumitux. Let's go knight g5 and try to get in on c7 maybe. Because now he would like to play rook c8, but then I can take a7. Yeah, so I'll probably give it up. Let's take with the bishop, harass the queen, and also preparing pawn at d6. Let's take and bishop here probably. Or knight c7 if he takes with the rook, because now the queen has no squares. Let's continue to be aggressive here. Try to win a knight or trade a knight to go on g5. Rook takes. I was thinking pawn here, and you can take with the queen, with the king, but it's dangerous. But it seems to be working. Okay, let's sacrifice the queen back. Messed up a bit there, but let's go for the practical way. And I seem to be safe here. This rook move is not only attacking this bishop, but also preventing the king to move back. So that will take him some time to come up with a solution. And also g7 was hanging. Okay, let's move back to c7. Let's go g4. Keep this pawn in hand. Bishop d6. Make him use a blocker and then go knight at e6 and pawn at f7. And probably mate. Yes, king h8 takes block on g8 and knight f7. So there maybe was a defense for him. Most likely there was a defense for him, but the rook on the 7th rank was just very annoying for him to deal with. Okay, Liuma again. He beat me in the first game. So let's try to get some sort of revenge. Okay, usually I get queen d2 here, and then I won't play h6, because then the sacrifice on h6 is very, well, at least it's probably strong, but it also gives 2 pawns, so it's justified. But now he went for a3, a slower move, and then h6 was justified. Now the knight is on f6, and well, this should be fine for me. What does he want with this? Preventing e5 probably. Let's just go a5, prevent this b4 stuff. Ask him what he wants to do. Queen d7, connect the rooks. Just developing rules of chess. Most of the time also apply to Crazyhouse. Right, winning a pawn here. Yeah, he wants to go knight e5, I guess. Yes. And then bishop at c6 maybe. We'll see what he wants. I'll try to get in on f2. Bishop and then bishop at e3. Try to get some attack going for myself and just leave this rook hanging there. Okay, try to attack the queen. And also this rook. Let's take here. Take the queen. And now this is threatened, so he has to deal with that. Queen takes g3, threatening mate here. And also threatening to take here. Let's go here first and then move back. If pawn at g6 comes. And if bishop e4 probably block on f5. Since the mating threat of bishop takes here and queen at e1 is very strong. As well as queen at h2, of course. And he has no rook to mate me. Let's go pawn here first. If he takes, then queen at e1. And there's mate. I don't think there was a defense there for white, but could be. But at least I was very confident that I would take that one. Alright, upper is joined. That's nice. The usual suspects are playing. Okay, upper ways, and what do we do? Let's just go for my normal opening. Sacrificing a pawn here for some sort of initiative, at least I hope. Rook d1, I'll probably block. But alright, let's see how he wants to block. On d3, most likely. Until also knight takes g7 seems appealing. Let's go knight takes g7, queen at h8, and bishop at f6. And the rook is also hanging, so that's and he can't block with the bishop. That was a nice touch there. Let's see. I can take this knight, I think. Yes. If he takes back, then rook at e7 is mate. Okay. That was a while ago. Beating upper in 20 moves. That doesn't happen that often for me. But I think in this game particularly that I was tactically a bit sharper than him. But I guess he'll get there. Okay, atomic again. Let's stick to this knight of 3 g3 stuff for now. He opts for bishop e7. I think bishop d6 is more challenging since you have some threats on g3, and the sacrifice on g3 is usually very strong. Don't know if it's winning on the, probably it's not winning on the spot, but it's hard to deal with. And I'm referring to the sacrifice on g3 with some knight e4 takes g3, or knight on f5 with the bishop here as well. Okay, this game now, he's threatening this and this, but I can take on d5, threatening the queen, and the rook is on the file, so. And although this looks a bit shaky, I think it's fine for me, since most of the important squares are covered. I think knight g4, probably knight f5, and then I'll go pawn at e5. Not allowing this bishop to take here. Pawn at h6 seems fine. I was trying to lure this defender away, and I'm counting on the fact that I'll be safe on h3. He does win the queen, but there are many threats around his own king. For example, now queen takes e6, also bishop at h5 first. And if those doesn't work, those threats don't work, then I'll have knight at f4 defending. And I think we have to go. No, I can take here. Block and knight takes f6. Okay, now we have to defend. I went for knight at h4 because then also there is no knight at f3 later. Now asking him how he wants to deal with this. Probably queen at f8 is the way to go. Queen at g8. I think we can take here. And he has no knight for g4, so I'm not mated. Okay, few moves. Okay, can take the knight. Now knight at g6 should be enough, and knight at f8. All right. Yeah, that wasn't easy, but in the end we got there. Okay, upper again with black this time. Let's try to go for bishop e7. And some bishop g4. Let's see if this works, or if it doesn't. Okay, probably it didn't work. Let's take here. And block on f4. And move to f8. Knight at e6 I'll take and repeat. He's very safe on f1, so there isn't any attack for me. So I guess develop, and I'll probably attack this, but then I want to go bishop there. Okay, he'll take. Yeah, that's very strong indeed. That's mate. Okay. My opening concept didn't work there. But okay, managed to string 6 wins together. So for now we're in the top 3, top 4, top 5, which is my goal in these tournaments, to compete for the top places. CIW, opting for knight c3 first, and then I think you can get away with this more easily than the game against Opperweisen. Okay. Seems like I'm walking into a trap because he's playing this very fast. Let's check. Let's see what it does. At least he's thinking, so that's nice. That's a signal for me that he doesn't, or he isn't clear on what to do. If I take here, he'll mate me. So I guess I have to move the bishop. Let's move it here. It's giving it away, but I thought I had to. Maybe I didn't, but we'll see how it ends. I guess I'm busted here. Yes, queen here. Is mate in a few moves. Okay, very nice knight d5. Played very quickly, disrupting my defense there. Maybe I have a move there, but couldn't find it in the 20 seconds. Okay, 2 quick losses in a row there. But I guess that's what I get for being the number 2. Opperweisen opting for the slower bishop e7 now. Let's go bishop at f4. To go at c7, and also try some play there. Rook c1, maybe c4, try to trade a pawn. And also getting more pressure on c7. But he's guarding everything very nicely. Don't know if this works, but let's try it. He can probably take on f3, somewhere in between. Okay. Now I'll have to get in. I'm feeling like this is the way to go. Pawn at h6 in between, and then take on d6. Now try to get a heavy piece. Maybe take here and pawn at d6, forking these two. Because I really want to go rook at g7, of course. And he defends against it now. Probably he'll take the pawn and then the queen. Otherwise I take the knight and then put a rook there. I'll put rook first and then take on d6, I guess. Yes. Knight at f4, forking here, or well, not really forking, but applying pressure. I don't see any good move, so I'll try to get some more material to attack him, and it seems like I'm rather safe here. Let's see. Let's take and go pawn here and then pawn at e5. So now that he can not defend with a pawn on e7. Okay, that's that's a slip. I meant to take the knight, of course. Okay. But let's try to recover. Take a bishop. Queen at h6 is mating. Alright, in the end we got there. That's nice. Getting another result against Oberweisen. Jan Lee crushing so far, winning all but one. Well, we could almost say as usual, but we'll see. Only 6 points behind, and also the finisher is and Oberweisen as well is still in reach, within 10 points of Jan Lee. So we'll see who takes the first hour here. Guess knight g5, yeah. And then sacrifice for a pawn on b7. That's nicely done by the finisher. But okay, let's stay practical. And just move bishop g8. If he attacks it with knight at g5, and otherwise pawn at f6, probably. Nice original position, at least for me. I haven't seen this before. Or at least I can't remember seeing this. Guess queen d8 is the safest here. Because then I can block on c8. This is good stuff from the finisher. Let's go pawn here in between. The thought behind is that knight at f3 will be strong, but he's just accepting the sacrifice here. Maybe he'll take that one, yes. Okay, let's see. Bishop h5 seems useful, giving the queen an escape square. And also giving some room for knight here and knight c4. Which is he is defending. Oh, that's very nice. King e1. And I'll just get mated here. Yeah, time even. King e1. Well, nice move. Fun game. This one. And very original play there from the finisher. Right, Glenn Gratz. A usual name in the Crazyhouse arenas. And some of you might wonder why is a 2100 or an under 2100 player playing, but 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 2100 Title players are allowed to play regardless of their rating in these elite tournaments. I don't know why, probably because it attracts more players if title players are playing, and usually they are strong enough, of course. But that's just for your information there. Taking this bishop because I wanted a mate on g7, and now I can choose to take here, or the queen, or the knight with the queen. I think both are fine. If he blocks on g7, I'll take on g7 and put a bishop on f6, still winning the queen, as well as threatening mate. If he doesn't take, there is mate in a few moves, at least I think so. Let's see, knight h4, yes, knight h4 and knight at g7. But yes, you see here the entry is you have to have a rating of 2100 or more, or have to be a title player. And this also, once you've entered the tournament and your rating drops below 2100, that doesn't matter. You can still finish the tournament. So once you're in, you don't have to care about your rating, which I think is nice. Would be a bit strange to just, when you lose a game and you're below 2100, you're just out. I think king f8 is a way to go here. Knight at g6 may come, so let's put a bishop here. He'll sacrifice. Okay, let's see if it works. He can take the rook or the queen, but he can't take it with check, so I think I'll have a nice counter threat of my own here, which he has to take very seriously. And the thing is that he can't block now, so rook at h1 comes to mind. Yeah, rook at h1 is very strong. Usually he would have been safe with blocking there, but now he can't block, so he has to move up. The d file is covered. So queen at e1 finishes there. Probably he could have done better there with instead of knight at f7. Maybe, I don't know if king f8 is the right move there, but at least it gets out of the way of a lot of checks. Alright, Mr. Jan Lee. Let's see what you got. Let's see. Okay, he decides to sacrifice. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see if Jan Lee refutes this. The difference is that he had a knight on c3. So maybe it isn't the same. Probably it isn't. I think I have to go bishop e6 now. Thinking that it was the same line. But clearly it isn't. Okay, but let's see. It's not over yet. And he's using a lot of his time. Can I get away with knight f4? Probably not. Knight f4. Okay, let's try it anyway. Okay, defense. Then I'll go queen f6 and knight at d4 probably. I think he could have taken me up on the challenge there. Oh, he has this move. That's nice. Winning the queen back. probably correctly assessing that this is the better move. Okay, let's sacrifice the queen here. Get some checks out. I gotta move fast. No, this isn't it. Okay, let's resign. Didn't know what to do there. Interesting. And here, this is typical Jan Lee, not taking the queen here, correctly assessing that probably white or black is better after bishop takes g4, and just calmly taking the bishop, not giving me any chance. And there you see the real top player. Knowing when to defend and knowing when to attack is a very nice skill to have in Crazyhouse. Alright, but the finisher, going very strong. Up there with Jan Lee, both on 46. I'm 10 points behind, Opper taking a break, and a bunch of players around the 30-point mark after almost an hour of play. H3, maybe take on H4 if he goes for it. Okay, now let's go knight E5. Happy to trade here. Yeah, now he threatens to trade queens. So I'll have to do something about that. I guess I'll block that queen trade. Seems the most safe. Let me close the window there. Let's cover. Okay, he's playing this very actively, which probably is the best way to go here. E3, okay. Guess I'll take with the bishop and try to defend with bishop at f2 or something like that. Okay, this is a blunder, I think. Giving me an opportunity to get back into it. Trying to get in on f7. Let's take with the rook, and this should be game. Yes. Yeah, knight at c2. Not the good move there. Allowing bishop at a4. He played very strong up until that moment. But after knight at a4, his attack is gone, and also I'm a free piece up, so he just sacked his whole position there. Alright, let's see who's up next. Jan Lee and the finisher still winning their games, both on 50 points now. Very exciting at the top there. Let's try to stick to this B6 system. It's doing I'm doing quite okay with it recently. Let's try for c5. Let's see what he wants. Let's go g6. He wants to go at d6. Okay, let's go d5 then. And knight e4. And with bishop c7 I'll just move. It's getting sketchy though here. I think I'll take with the queen. Otherwise knight e5 would have been annoying. I'll have to take this. Am I already busted here? That's the question. Guess I'll take here. That's a good move. Missed that completely. Easy move, actually, but totally went by me. Now he can just take the knight and take here. Completely winning. He probably has spotted another way. But alright, we're still playing. I'll allow this him taking the bishop, that's fine. Knight at c7. Will he spot it? Okay, he plays that way. Also fine, I guess. Knight at c7. Is it mate though? Oh no, this knight is also covering on e7. I thought knight at e7 and take here. Would have been totally over. Okay, let's try to counter. Maybe we'll have something. Let's take here. And run. This bishop is doing a nice job of covering these squares. And this bishop as well. Of covering, oh sorry, these. And actually I'm feeling like I'm getting back into this. And he actually allowed mate there. Alright, never give up, I guess. He was crushing me there, but he didn't find the mate. And to be honest, I didn't see a clear mate either. I thought he had mate with knight at c7, but the knight on f5 was still covering. But it had to be winning for him. It was so strong. Completely missed the knight fork there, which just refuted my whole idea. Okay, Banana Joe. Let's see what you got. Maybe he's thinking about taking here. Okay. Threatening here, but I also would like to take this one. And go for some pawn at e7 stuff. Taking on c2. Well, now it would be a bad idea, but maybe later on. I don't mind that, because then I can move the queen to d2, for example. And also knight e7 is at my disposal there. Let's disregard this knight for now. And if necessary, I'll have a defensive move with rook at g3. But I think this should be okay for me. Or is it? I thought this would be very strong, but I lack a bishop or a pawn here. So maybe it isn't as strong as I thought it would be. Okay, threatening all sorts of stuff there. Take, push here. Thinking about queen takes f8. Let's go for it and rook at h8. See how he responds. Probably that's the correct response. Let's go here. If pawn here, then I'll move. Okay, I'm still in it. Guess take. Okay. Very nice king chase there. Don't know if it was all correct, but he made a few quick moves to get out of time trouble. And that's the crazy thing about this increment. When you make 3 quick moves, you already have 6 seconds, which don't seem like a lot of seconds, but compared to a 30-second game, 6 seconds is, well, a nice thing to have. It's very hard to step back then and to think for a few seconds about the best move. Okay, we might see some queen takes h3. Let's discourage that by getting in ourselves here. Maybe knight e4. Well, very aggressive play here by CIW. Let's go queen d4. Maybe take this bishop. Knight at e7. Winning a pawn here. Let's go queen h4 and pawn at h6. Maybe. And if he plays pawn at h6 himself, pawn at g5. He can't take here because of queen takes h6 and queen takes g7, and both these threats are very hard to deal with. So he probably had to block on a light square there, but then I could try to harass the dark squares as well. So the queen sacrifice quickly refuted there. Let's see, the finisher winning. Jan Lee is also still winning, but the finisher is 1 game up for now. Very strong performance so far. Only lost 4 games. And Jan Lee started a bit late or played a bit slower. So it will be interesting to see who wins it. Let me know if you have any thoughts on who you think will win this one, Jan Lee or the finisher. With 15 more minutes to play, it can go either way, but we'll see. Okay, bishop e7, knight d7, h6 at some stage. He did get in e4 though, so it's not the best version of this opening for me. Allowing h6 or bishop h4 probably is the best move. Bishop takes f6 I could have played here. So I might have to go for e5 now. Or c5. Let's go c5, keep some options open. Okay, let's take here and take on f3 and take on e5. He might take there, yes. Figured he'd try to do that. Now I'll probably take the queen and go knight at h3. I had to check if pawn at h7 was mate, but I don't think it is mate. because the bishop is covering h5. Okay, let's give him this knight. He probably won't take it though. Threatening to take here. Not threatening to take there. Missed that the bishop is covering knight at g4. At least I'm threatening to take this one. Let's take it. Okay, let's stay very aggressive. Seemed like the only way to go here. Knight at g3 though. Of course I couldn't move to h7 because then the queen could be taken with check, and now it's just over. Yeah. Maybe he had knight at g3 there, defending. Probably. But it was very hard. Even after knight at g3, there would have been a lot of threats to deal with in the moves thereafter. Okay, Jake F. First time playing him today. Okay. Now I'm opting to take here because otherwise the d4 pawn would fall. Because queen e1 was a bit careless by me. Okay. Allowed this. Still allowed this, but now there's bishop takes f6 at least. I'll have some counterplay. Or at least I think I'll have some counterplay. I'll try to get aggressive here. Maybe bishop takes f6 and try to go after this knight. Okay, not allowing anything just yet. Let's go rook d1, seems like a useful move. Take the knight, because I like the knight better here than the bishop. Note that I can't take the like this because knight at e2. It's always a nasty tactic you have to deal with. Maybe I'll take here and then there. At least that's my plan. He might take here first though. Okay, let's allow that. And then get g7 and pawn at g5 probably. Let's block on e4. Try to take the queen. Let's play pawn here. Knight h5 ideas. I think I can get away with knight h5 and knight at f6. It's getting very low on time. Let's sacrifice the queen there and go full attack. And he didn't find a move in time. Probably had to go knight at f5, defending. Seems like the best move. And I guess I'm lost there. Okay, the finisher lost the game. They've not played against each other just yet. So the finisher for now of a streak. Jan Lee still going strong. Old man H. Feels like I've played him more than 2 times, but I guess not. Let's opt for e4 this time. That's uncomfortable for me. But at least I'll can take here, I guess. Yes. Okay. Let's poke with a check. See how he wants to block. Let's go pawn at d7. Was a bit of a cheapo move. I think he should have taken with the king, but now I have this move, which allows me to take here and rook at f8. Yeah, that the pawn d7 is a really cheap shot. He can just take with the king and no worries. And he's probably winning there. But I thought the opening was not the best, and I thought let's go for this idea. And if he doesn't see it, I win, and if he does, I lose, but I was probably losing anyway, so it was my only shot there. And lucky for me, he fell for it. Okay, still within 10 points. 40 minutes to go. Let's see if we can keep it up. Winner Oleg. Played against him in some weekly or monthly Crazyhouse arenas. To me, a rather new player to the scene. Okay, we haven't seen this opening yet. I think I'll go for some h5, h4, h3. We might see h4, but I don't think that's good, because then I can take here and take on h4, or I can play knight h3 and take on h4. In these kind of structures, if you want to get something going, it's almost always good to play h5, h4. Okay, how to respond to this? Bishop at d7, he'll just take. But I think I have to go bishop d7. And then just h4. Seems like the critical move, knight a5 maybe. Probably should look at that in a later stage. Okay, threatening the queen now, as well as threatening mate. Okay, he decides to save the queen, but then the king is lost. Closing in on the finisher, who of course has to get back on a streak. And not getting paired against Jan Lee or the finisher just yet. And that will be, of course, important for the standings. And now we'll just have to try to keep winning our games, to keep the pressure on. I think this bishop g6 is a nice move, defending a lot of squares. And now take on c3 and go knight at e4, threatening here. So now the knight has to move. And now I can play knight takes e5, probably. Yeah, let's go knight takes e5. Because this is, of course, bad for white. And if I check here, I must not block on d7, because then he can take. but now it's hard for him to find a good move. Now knight at f3 is on. Bishop takes g2 is a mating threat, so he can't even take on g7. He can now, but now takes here is too much, and he resigns. Yeah, the move order wasn't good there for white. When black can just put a bishop on g6 and feel safe, then that should be fine for black in that opening. Okay, on 2 points and still on 10 points with Jan Lee there. And Jan Lee and the finisher are playing each other, so might be a chance for me. CIW. Let's see if I can keep up with the top two there. Okay, CIW opting for a double knight on e4. I guess I'll take one and take f7 if he allows me, and try to go for a quick attack here. Let's see. Pawn here. I'll just move back. Okay, I guess I have to go for this. And maybe take this pawn. Okay, let's go h4. Covering g5, keeping some pressure. Not yet sacrificing everything. And try to make some positional moves. And maybe then trade a few pieces to get in here. At least his pace has gone back a bit. I want to go f3, but I don't want to go f3 when he can play e3. And now if I go f3, then I can take on e4. Okay, let's still go f3. Allow the queen trade if he wants it. Now I think I'll take here first with check, see what he wants to do. He has to block somewhere. And I think knight at d7 is very strong. Can just take back the rook and move somewhere. Let's see, where's the safe square? Maybe it isn't so safe after all. Takes. Yes. King h1. He can take here though. He missed that, clearly. Okay, now I should be able to checkmate him here. What's the best way? d4. I need to open this c7 square. That's very important. Otherwise he may run into safety. Now he may run to here. Okay, this should be over. Okay. Maybe he could have gotten away there, but it was very hard. Okay, the finisher lost against Jan Lee, so I took second place for now. 35 minutes to go. John Stocky 2-2 against him today. Also in previous tournaments. Let's see how he plays this line. already we see some differences again. How Liuma played it before. Let's sacrifice. Bishop on g6, not allowing any knight at h5 stuff just yet. If he wants to get knight h5 in, he'll probably can do it, but with knight f4 and knight at h5, but not now. Try to activate the queen here. He's not allowing it. But now there is some pawn at e4 move later on. Let's just defend, and if bishop at d7 I might even take. Okay, let's castle. And if takes, I'll take, and knight at f5 probably. Let's go pawn at e4 now. Try to make use of the light squares. Queen h5, I guess. If queen h3, he'll take, and then pawn at g2. And then I have to go queen h5 anyway. So now he'll probably still will go for some pawn at g2 in the future, but at least it won't give him a tempo. If pawn at g2 now, for example, okay, I have pawn at f3. Let's do it anyway. Knight at h3 is a very strong threat now. And he misses it. This was preparing the mate threat on g2. Queen h1, pawn at g2 is mate. Okay, and my rating is over 2600. Wow, that's usually a good sign, because that doesn't happen that often. Crazy home, okay, opting for a6, b5. Let's throw in a4, see if he pre-moves. He doesn't, okay, that's fine. Let's ignore that and just move bishop g5. And I'll take with the pawn, getting some safety. And he can't take another pawn just yet, because he would like to play pawn h3, of course, but not allowing that just yet. And now I'll go knight e1. There's some sort of skewer here. He's forking this one. Let's try to take it. Bishop at h5 is also an idea, but he's doing very well so far. I think I can't take that. Gotta watch out for bishop at e3. Let's take c7. Let's ignore bishop at e3. Don't know if that's the wisest decision, but we'll see. Now I'll have to block rook at h1. Let's take here and go pawn at f6. Very tricky. Okay, he's giving me some room to get in here. Probably shouldn't have done that. Queen d3 and rook a3 maybe. a3 b4. Yeah. He probably should have gone for the rook on f2 at some stage. Seemed very strong. Let's go d5. Okay, switching to this French structure again, but the bishop is already on f5, which should be nice for black. And as long as there is no bishop at f7 or b7, I should say, of course, this should be totally fine. Threatening here already. Let's double up on c2. Maybe go h6 to kick this bishop, or maybe go bishop e7 to trade it. At least this bishop is doing a nice job of guarding, and also he has some trouble covering c2, I guess. He decides to give it. Let's harass his knight. And harass this one as well, because then I can go knight e2. If he takes, I have to, of course, take back with the bishop. Let's ask him if he wants to take. Let's develop a bit more. Give the opportunity to run to f8, castle maybe. Okay, now it's time to castle. I feel like this knight is doing a very good job of defending. Let's attack here. The light squares around this king are very weak, so therefore I thought this move is justified. And now his king is in the open. And he is up a few pieces, of course, but well, now I'm already winning back the queen, for example. Still with an attack, so this is over soon. Queen g2, queen g5, blocking off the retreat. Okay, in clear second place now. The finisher not able to push back just yet. And Jan Lee just keeps on winning. Well, I guess, well, in Dutch we have a sort of saying, chief above chief. Like Jan Lee is the master chief here. Only 2 losses, well, that's brilliant. Let's see who we lost against. Buckfish and Emily playing. Buckfish getting some upsets. That's nice. Don't know that player, but I also saw him beating the finisher. Emily playing barely won the last game against this this guy, so have to be careful. And I don't know if this time I don't know if this is correct, what I'm doing here, bishop at h4, but I feel like it should be the correct move. And if I think here, he'll know that I don't know what I'm doing. And psychologically, I think that's a nice thing to think about. To also try to beat your opponent on that way. Okay. Now I'm getting beyond the point by taking a while playing king h2, but alright, you get what I mean. Bishop f4 and covering g3 seems important. Couldn't take the queen, of course, because pawn at g3 would have been made. Now the threat was renewed. Let's go knight e5. Aggressive move. But I want to remove this knight. As well as getting some threats in on of my own. not quite there yet. I guess it's safe to trade queens, because g3 is covered twice. Knight at h4 is also covered. Queen at g2 can't be enough. Yeah, this should go my way, I think. Let's see how. Pawn at f6. The most convincing way to get in these two squares. Let's repeat. Too hard to defend this with black. Alright, Liuma up again. After the first game, managed to beat him 4 times. Let's not underestimate him though. Okay. If take, and then develop the bishop, I guess. Yeah, let's try that. Maybe knight b5, that's annoying. Okay. Don't know just yet. If I can get knight b5, knight at e6, seems fine. Alright. Let's retreat. He'll try to get some e6 going, which is of course a strong idea. I might have to move the queen to d5. Okay, now I have to move the queen. I can't take this one, that's too risky. And now I can try to castle long if he allows it. Let's put pieces on the board. Keep the pressure up on the clock. Gotta move though. Guess I can't go here. Winning the bishop, okay. Let's cover a7, not allow any mate there. Threatening mate on g2. Let's recreate the threat in a few moves. And I think it's just a move too late there. Okay, take. And this should be made soon. Take, and take again, queen at g2. It was just a few moves too slow there on the queen side. Very interesting opening. It took us both some time to find the correct moves there. And then afterwards we were just playing on increment. And I think he lost track there. Alright, the finisher. Going for bishop e7, so I'll go for bishop g5 and knight e5, the standard stuff here. Okay, let's, maybe he wants to go g5. Let's provoke him. And make him waste a few seconds as well. probably see bishop at g6, or he'll move the bishop. Okay, he doesn't. Then I'll take. And put the pieces around my king. Let's see if we can get something going here. He might go for bishop at e3. Seems strong. I have to try to get some counterplay. Hard. It's hard though. Now we might see knight at d2. Okay, he's upping the pressure. Let's defend and not take. He can just take that with the queen though. Okay, that seems also very strong. Let's remove the queen from the diagonal, this one. Knight, he wants to go knight at f2 or something like that. And he's very safe at home here. So that's annoying, or for him it's fine. That seemed like a blunder, I guess. Queen takes g7 probably is mate if he doesn't do anything about it. This knight is also still on. What does this move do? Let's just take. Guess go like this. Very tense game. Bishop g2 maybe. Don't know about this. I think this is bad for me. Yeah, he managed to beat me there. What a nice game. 51 moves. Very strong play by the finisher there. I think he stayed on top there. And in the end it was just too hard defending. Maybe I should have waited with the counter attack there. Who knows? Let's just focus on the next game. If knight f3, then a6. Okay, he goes bishop b5 first. Let's cover this pin. What I talked about before. If this c6, c7 stuff in d4, d5 openings is usually not that fun to play against. Let's try some crazy moves. And he falls for it. This was one of the threats. Making use of this f3 move. You may see bishop here. Yes, let's move back. He doesn't have any pieces to work with, so I'll try to get pawn here or pawn here to secure the dark squares. Let's just put more bishops on the dark squares. Let's repeat. And at some stage I want to go knight at e4. Okay, this is a nice idea. If f6, he'll take on g5. Then I have to take back. Okay, let's just go knight at e8. And ask him what he wants to do next. f6 would have played into his hand. And now I can just drop my my pieces, and now all the pieces are back on the board, and I'm just a pawn up. And now f6 is possible. Okay. May still come. f4 is still nicely covered. Now I'll allow him to take, since it's just a free piece for me. Let's take with the bishop at the second move, because h6 is now still guarded, which I think is important. Okay, this is fine. Let's just keep defending and make him burn all his pieces. Bishop e3, I'll take. Okay, f5. He doesn't have any pieces to work with except the bishop. And now bishop at knight at e4 to get rid of that one. Bishop here. Okay, let's take and cover. Okay, this is actually not so easy. Let's take here. Gotta move quick. Gotta take. Okay, I've played it a bit too slow, so now I'm sort of in trouble. But it's okay, now I have a few seconds back, can think a bit about the position, and now I'll be able to run, since there are no pieces left. Guard e6. Dangerous move. Let's guard escape square. He's playing very practical. That's nice by Buckfish. Now I can try to get in. Forking the rooks and knight at e5 or c5. Okay. Nice play there by Buckfish, but in the end it didn't pay off. All the sacrifices. But he nearly got me. Okay, let's go e4. Try to pressure on the h file quickly, maybe castle long, and get a not so standard game from the get-go. Maybe we'll see bishop g3 and king d1, I guess. Okay, not. h5, okay. Interesting stuff happening. does walk into bishop at g5, but then f4, I guess. Okay, let's just castle. I feel that this side of my of the board is safer for me. Okay, also walked into this. Let's go here. Let's take bishop at g5 probably. Then I'll want to take here. Bishop at e3, I'll take. Alright, he really goes for it. Didn't know what to do. Allowing queen d4 can't be good. Just very solid. Yeah. Taking here, not bothering with finding the mate. Okay. The finisher catching up. Deserving. Lee, of course, beating me twice in the last few games. Okay, probably a few more games after this one. Jan Lee still very convincingly. I only played Jan Lee once, and also the finisher played him once. So, but still, beating all these players is no walk in the park, even for him. But he's making it look so easy. Winner Alec, let's try to end strong this tournament after 2 losses the last few games. Okay, g6, what's that about? Don't know. Doesn't feel right leaving this hole here on g7. And he's taking a long time now to think about how to react. Okay, he's sucking the queen. Okay, let's take. And now I only need one more pawn here. And Jesse has time to defend against this, but I still have the queen in hand, so I'll just try to get in on the dark squares. Get some more diagonals. He's very low on time as well. Then maybe I shouldn't repeat this. That's not a very good strategy, just giving him 4 or 5 seconds for free. Now pawn here, forking these two. Good defense. Taking another pawn for g5. Threatening c6 and also thinking about h6. Bishop takes g3, I'll take. Bishop at h6 now. Messy game, but so far it seems like I'm cleaning up here. Still holding on. And it isn't over yet. Okay, now it is. And Jan Lee finally lost the game, but is out of reach, I think, for the finisher. He will try, of course, back on track. Banana Joe, all right. Let's see. Not playing this very active as white just yet. Okay, now going for d5. Let's harass this knight, see what he wants to do, and then maybe go knight e5 if he plays, for example, knight d2. Okay, knight e5 anyway, opening the scope of this bishop. And he's of course hoping for knight takes d5 and then blocking the bishop, but I won't play along just yet. Let's try b5, seems interesting. And now we'll try to get in on the light squares. Not so happy with queen takes. Should have gone pawn takes there. Okay, let's see. Let's just sack the queen. Getting a few quick moves in. Try to pressure him. Knight takes g7, I'll have knight or bishop takes e3. Trying to apply pressure here. Let's take first and then cover the mate. Maybe e3 is also an option. Okay. He's desperately trying to get into the dark squares, so I'll cover them as much as possible. I think I can take here. Maybe I couldn't. We'll see. Knight f2 is ugly. Something to consider. Yeah, let's go knight f2. Threaten rook h1, also threatening the queen. That's very nice. And now I'm winning, even on the position, I think. Okay. And the pairings are closed. Okay. Congratulations to Jan Lee and the finisher for finishing first and second. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and well, I don't know what time I will stream in the coming week, but probably I'll try to get a stream in at one of the daily Crazyhouse arenas or the weekly Crazyhouse arena around 10 o'clock Dutch time, that is. So maybe I'll see you then, but for now, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great evening or day wherever you are.